Hey guys, my name is Matimio, and today I have some more Planetside 2 gameplay for you. In my last Planetside video, a lot of you requested some sniper gameplay, so I decided to give in to that request, and so I have some Infiltrator action for you today. And I'm not going to go too into detail on this class in general. I'm going to kind of give you guys a brief overview and hopefully some helpful tips if you would like to try it out yourself and you have the opportunity or you're in the beta right now. It's a fantastic class, but it's a little daunting. It's a little hard to get used to. So admittedly, when I first started playing as the Infiltrator, I thought it was terrible. I had a very hard time getting any kills. I thought the stealth mechanic was very gimmicky and really didn't provide any help to the class in general. And, you know, it just didn't feel like it provided the same amount of support or usefulness as, let's say, the Engineer or the Light Assault, or really any of the other classes. All the other classes have some pretty amazing abilities. They can support their teammates with gadgets and all that kind of stuff, while the Infiltrator just kind of felt like this class, well, sure, they can snipe people from across the map if you get lucky, but other than that, they just didn't feel like up to par with the other classes. But after I started playing it more, I got used to the playstyle and tried new things out. I discovered that this is one of the more powerful classes at your arsenal, and if you use it correctly, you can absolutely destroy the enemy team and have a lot of fun in the process. The first thing I really had to get down to make this class work was to figure out the bullet drop and the bullet speed. Just like in the Battlefield franchise, you have to compensate for both, which I really like about Planetside. I'm glad that's in the game, but it was kind of tricky to figure out. So if you are just starting out and you just cannot, for the life of you, figure out where to aim your gun if a target is even standing still, my main advice is to always aim at the top of their head. Don't aim above it at all. There isn't a lot of bullet drop in this game unless you're going for an extremely long ball shot. But just aim at the very top of their head, and if you do that, pretty much in every situation, you're going to get that kill. And after I started doing that, the kills really started to roll in, and the class in general just felt a lot more comfortable for me, and I felt like I was starting to get the hang of things. As for the bullet speed, that is something that's a little bit harder to compensate for. If a target is on the move, trying to line up that headshot can be a very difficult task. In the Battlefield franchise, and especially in Battlefield 3, a moving target is difficult, but I would say it is 2 times harder in Planetside. I mean, it is very hard to line up those long distance headshots, especially for a target that is moving. So my main advice, just completely avoid those targets unless you have to go for them, or if it's the only target out there, you know they're not going to kill you, then try to go for that shot. But in most circumstances, if you're attacking a base and you see a bunch of people running around, wait for them to shoot at your allies or stand still for a second and then go for the shot. I found that I got a lot more kills when I did that. People didn't know where I was as often because there are no kill cams in this game, which is awesome for sniping, I might add. So yeah, if you are having a hard time lining up those shots, just wait for them to stop, then aim for the top of their head, and then pull the trigger, and then more often than not, you're going to get that kill. And like I said, once I started to abide by those couple of rules, the kills really started to come in, and it became a lot more enjoyable. Another thing that I have been finding to be extremely useful is the stealth ability. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I kind of thought it was useless. When you look at an Infiltrator who just stealth, you can still see them. You can still see their outline, they kind of shimmer, and taking them out really isn't an issue at all because they kind of are out there clear as day as long as you know they're there. But if you don't know they're there and you are not expecting someone to be there, it's a lot harder to pinpoint them. And when I'm playing as the Infiltrator and I see a huge battle raging on, I will just flank around to the side and use my stealth ability, run out in the open and go from rock to rock as I please, and then get to the side or even behind the enemy. And that's really where the Infiltrator, where the name Infiltrator comes into play, because I will just completely flank my enemy and get into a position where they're not expecting fire and then just rain death down upon all the infantry units. And because you're flanking and there are no kill cams, you can take out a lot of targets before they will ever expect you're there. And because you flank them and they think that they're behind cover, a lot of people will just stand still. They'll stand on on an ammo pack, or they'll heal their ally, and then once they do that, they're stopped, they're a much easier target, you can snipe them and move on to the next target. And like I said, flanking and that stealth mechanic has quickly become one of the most important parts of this class in general. I mean, mastering the rifle is extremely important, and that's where you're going to get your kills, but being able to flank your enemy effectively and getting into key positions, I feel like is going to be one of the most important things for the Infiltrator class in general. So, like I said, the stealth mechanic, if used correctly, is a extremely important tool at your disposal. But that's it for today's video. I know these tips seemed very basic, but I know a lot of people out there just dismiss this class as being a sniper who is being completely useless and doesn't really provide a lot of support for their allies. Really, you could not be farther from the truth, and hopefully you'll give it another try, and these tips will help you out so you can discover the fun and awesomeness that is the Infiltrator class. But if you guys enjoyed the video or just want to support my channel, I always appreciate it when you give my videos a rating, and if you haven't already, subscribe for more. But until next time, guys, have a good one and take it easy.